Hello, welcome to the Zero Ends channel. Please like and subscribe. Please enjoy our live.
Zero Ends. Welcome to another stream here on the Zero Ends channel. And today we have to have this conversation. I think I'm living in a twilight zone, for those that don't know. And one of the few things of this twilight zone, what you're witnessing now, we are in the not last stage, but the stages is set for the iRobot effect. Now, everybody's not familiar with the movie iRobot. I can't show highlights here because on this website or this platform does not allow me showing the actual movie to get people familiarized. So the second best thing is I have some better. I'm going to show you better than I can just tell you. So the first video I will show, and then I will read an article. We'll try to fair use for now. Of this new humanoid, or what we call the iRobot, that's being manufactured as we speak and potentially be up and running by 2026. So let's watch this video with commentary. Fair use. Enjoy.
Has finally announced Tesla bought Gen 3 and 6 new updates that he claims will make Optimus the definitive leader among humanoid robots, leaving giants like Boston Dynamics and Unitree in the dust. The official premiere is expected in early 2026, and that is without exaggeration.
Now, as you can see, the in-depth detail of what they call cybernetic or enhanced hands to the so-called skull. Not the face, because it doesn't have a face yet. But these things are designed to be the sort of mating replacement for regular consumption that humans indulge in. Let's watch more.
One of the biggest tech events of the coming year. Optimus is said to be mind-controlled, work in factories, cook, clean, and perform hundreds of other household chores. Engineers have even taught it to drive a car. Elon Musk assures us, quote, "It will not look like a robot. It will look more like a person in a robot costume." And there isn't an ounce of metaphor in these words. Tesla bot Gen 3 is already surpassing its predecessors in every metric. It moves 3 times faster, performs tasks twice as accurately, and most importantly, it teaches itself, literally, just by observing a human. In the labs of Palo Alto, these robots are already walking through Tesla offices. They greet employees, meet visitors, and can guide them to the correct department. If you get lost on the campus, just stop an Optimus. It'll get you to Elon better than an Uber. And this isn't a figure of speech. They truly move around the company grounds 24/7, navigating.
Now, everybody knows that these devices are much more advanced than just flying drones. And there's a video about the drones in a second. But let's say for this conversation, these things are already functioning right now in these facilities. I have not known anybody that's really revealing that, in my opinion. I need to see videos. I could probably look up some videos on YouTube or any other media outlet to see if they're actually functioning right now in Tesla's warehouse, building the cars and stuff. But I would not be surprised that they move beyond building just manufacturing vehicles, these Tesla bots. I think they're able to do many other things that will help mitigate normal tasks that humans normally don't like to do. All right, let's keep listening.
Space without an operator. Now imagine a million such robots walking around the world. Yep, that's the goal Elon Musk has set. However, there's challenges. In his last address, Musk stated directly, quote, "Optimus already knows how to walk in the park, but bringing it to market is an incredibly difficult task. Creating a hand that is as dexterous and as functional as a human's That is the real engineering abyss. Yet the hand is no longer the main problem. Musk has declared that he'll not pursue the robot at all unless he gets voting control of Tesla. His unprecedented demands, which include up to 25% of the company's stock and up to $1 trillion in compensation, have already caused a storm of criticism and concern. Elon, though, is unyielding. My, as you know, fundamental concern regarding the degree to which I control the voting at Tesla is that if I go and build this massive robot army, can I simply be outvoted at some point in the future? Now, why is...
That's a very excellent question that Elon's posing right now. The answer is, look at Steve Jobs. Look at all the people that build these corporations, these tech companies. What has happened to them? Either they got drove out or they sell out. And I think with you, Elon, the possibility is that your investors or people that's giving money to build these machines, they could possibly push you out, like most of your intellectual counterparts that came before you. That's a highly possibility. So I'm not surprised he's playing smart. Make sure you guys like the stream, leave comments. Let's go.
Musk so determined to keep the robots under control? Well, the entrepreneur doesn't just believe in this project. He calls it Tesla's greatest product, which will change people's lives and become the foundation of the company's value. Even critics don't dispute that Optimus Gen 3 has significantly outpaced all previous versions. However, the market is becoming more crowded every day, and competition includes not only Chinese startups, but also other major players like Figure AI and 1X Technologies. They've already proven that humanoid robots are no longer science fiction, but a new industry. Figure released a robot that's been working for months now at a BMW factory, and 1X has opened pre-orders for its home robot Neo, which uses hybrid control through VR and AI. See, the question used to be, who'll be the first to teach a robot to walk properly? Now it's, who will be the first to make androids a part of our lives? But Musk, as always, is working ahead of the curve and announcing a sensational feature for Optimus: mind control. You won't need to speak to the robot or even open an app. Neuralink is already working on enabling commands to be sent to the Tesla Bot 3 using the company's chip directly. The idea was first voiced in 2024. At the time, Neuralink officially began clinical trials called the Convoy study. Look it up to prove the possibility.
It goes back again. Are you being injected into the machines, or are they processed to put you into the web? Or better yet, process of how can I say this? The Matrix effect, for lack of better words. So it looks like to me that the Neuralink is going to be used for many things, and one of them is to hopefully maybe operate or communicate with these what do they call it? Communicate with these humanoids. All right, let's keep going.
Of connecting a brain implant to a robotic arm. The trials were successful, and in October of 2025, Neuralink's head of surgery stated that the company is considering using the same interface to control Tesla Optimus robots. The main point is that you don't need to command every joint. You just give it a general command like pick up the cup or put the box away. Then the Neuralink chip reads your thought, Optimus's AI system translates it into an action plan, and the robot breaks down the movement into steps, adjusts the trajectory, and it executes the task. Moreover, Musk plans to implement bidirectional feedback. He says, quote, imagine you can enter Optimus the same way you enter a game. You'll be able to see through its eyes, move its hands, walk, feel pressure, temperature, vibrations, all of that is possible. It'll be like a suit, only made of titanium and silicon. Right now, this sounds like a scene from Ghost in the Shell or Surrogates, but the technical foundation is already there. Optimus Gen 3 is equipped with a mind-blowing sensory system. Pressure and touch sensors are in every finger. The robot's neural network.
Oh, I forgot to mention the Ghost in the Shell. That's another Japanese anime that now went and made a full live stream, a full feature movie. I would say watch that as well. You can learn some. I might watch it when I get a chance. Let's keep going.
Converts visual signals into movement, and Neuralink, for its part, is learning to read and send neural signals. If these two technologies are to be connected, a person with an implant could technically control the robot's body and receive haptic feedback, as if they were holding, say, an object themselves. Will Musk manage to implement this in real life, or will this stay on paper, like the Hyperloop? Only time will tell. Musk's next key idea is that there's no point in launching a robot production line unless you plan to churn them out by the millions. Musk insists for robots to make sense, they need to be produced by the millions. Hundreds is not an industry. 1 million a year, that's the goal. This is why Tesla is retooling its gigafactories for Optimus assembly. Cars have suppliers and smartphones have entire logistics chains, but humanoids have nothing. We have to build everything from scratch, Musk admits. We're literally building the industry. And this is his argument against competitors. No startup can simply scale production to this magnitude, but Musk can. If he controls Tesla and generates massive profits to invest into the robot, he can make it truly indispensable. But most importantly, Optimus Gen 3 already has what it takes to become the perfect personal assistant, and one of its...
Now, the one thing I find odd is the humanoid is sitting interacting and eating food like humans, but got no mouth, so it's just imitating what people are doing, because collecting data, for those that don't know, that's how these things really function. Just like the AI that we use, our chat GPTs, Grok, DeepSeek, they're always constantly learning on how you move, how you think as a human. They're interfacing with you in real time and collecting masses of data. That's how they function, And they're going to get to a point where they're going to probably, or if they're not, smarter than humans. Let's go.
Its main strengths is the ability to learn just by watching humans. In other words, the robot's AI already allows it to perform necessary movements and tasks on its own. Imagine showing it how to pick up trash or fold your clothes, and it just does it for you, even peeling an egg for your breakfast afterward. To illustrate the point, just check out these moves. Quick, somebody call Dana White. There's a new Kung Fu star in town. Apparently, this is the first ever video showing the robot moving this smoothly without being sped up or remotely controlled by an operator. Everything you see here, including that jump to maintain balance, Optimus did on its own. The headway in software goes on to show Tesla engineers' prowess and quite the capacity for lack of sleep, because the difference between now and Gen 2 is night and day. The developers trained Optimus with end-to-end neural networks similar to those used in the company's autonomous driving systems. This lets the robot process visual data and translate it into movements in real time. Literally, see it and repeat it. You can still tell it's a robot, but the speed, balance, and precision in this video, it's almost human level, right? Let us know in the comments. This ability to learn new things just like humans is the second superpower of the...
And that's the arm, the hands, the motion. It is breathtaking, if I say so myself. It's breathtaking and kind of scary as well. This is the future for those that don't know. This is the future we are living in now. And we're not sure if these things that's going to be in the market or are in the market really safe. And the next video I'll show you, a man's going to talk about more about the safety, which I hope he don't do. But let's keep going.
Third generation. Tesla initially had a very unique approach to learning. The idea is the same as autopilot, a single brain instead of dozens of disconnected modules, just like humans. While most robots perceive, plan, and grasp their surroundings separately, Optimus operates in a single flow. See, understand, do. This method allows it to learn on the fly, adjusting its behavior based on the rate of success. Training is done with video. The robot watches multiple videos of a particular action, initially from a first and from a third-person perspective. The robot then observes how a human moves, then copies it and generalizes from its experience. To avoid wasting time on rare or dangerous situations, engineers generate them and further train the robot in simulation. The first demonstration of this approach was a video of Optimus dancing dancing. All the moves were learned entirely in the simulator and then immediately reproduced in real life, as if you were watching Swan Lake on the couch, then got up and did a flawless cabriole. I've never seen any technology advance as quickly as artificial intelligence.
Well, you have not know how artificial intelligence has been around to know the advancement of it. We all know artificial intelligence has been around for nearly 60 to, I heard, even go as far as close to 70 years or 69 years, since the mid to late 50s. So if you don't understand the history of how artificial intelligence was first came around, you don't know how advanced it has become over the decades. So to see it become so advanced, that's a process in itself of years of building it up, trial error, find which one works, which doesn't work, mostly done by military means, most likely. And there behold, we have AI for the last 4 years, roughly. All right, let's keep going.
From Musk that called AI a supersonic tsunami. And Grok in this system becomes another layer, like another brick in the wall, where perception and speech are united into behavior. It's funny, many laughed when Musk announced he would transfer his developments in self-driving cars to a robot. Who's laughing now? Sure, there are many differences between a robot taxi and a humanoid, yet Tesla was able to immediately incorporate several things into the robot. First off, the way to process video and construct vector space of the environment. These are equally suitable for both cars and humanoids. The second is data collection and labeling system plus retraining algorithms. All of this has already been tested in autopilot. And thirdly, generating synthetic data based on real-life inputs. This helps further train the robot in simulation. Incidentally, why did Musk choose Kung Fu to demonstrate the robot's progress in training? Opinions were divided. Some thought it was a response to competitors like Unitree that were already organizing robot fights. Others recalled Musk's love of old films and games, seeing a reference to Neo from The Matrix. Which camp do you belong to? Let us know in the comments. And then again, while the AI side is doing great, the hardware side at Tesla is facing serious problems right now.
Like any innovation or anything that's new to the market, they're going to have some faulty products or what is considered side effects. Now, most people that are excited to see these things roll out next year by the thousands, that they're hoping that there's not too much, what do you call it, bugs or things that could be problematic in the long run. But like I said, these are things that's been in the process of building. And I would say humanoids, personally, if you don't know, has been a thing in the making for the last 7 years, since 2018. If you go back to some of the old videos 7 years ago, they had talk about these humanoid bots, like, androids with real face, eye movement. Also, I think one lady made a whole entire android off her black girlfriend. It was scary, like, really. All right, let's go.
Right now. Not all of it, of course. The robot is almost perfect in every way, except for its hands. Why are hands so important? It kind of helps the credibility along if you promise a robot is going to do chores and its hands actually deliver, like folding clothes, dusting, even chopping vegetables for a salad. Experts say Optimus Gen 3 has the most incredible hands ever seen on a robot. Case in point, Figure 02. Its arms have 16 degrees of freedom, which is, quite good, and lets it get a bunch of movements and tasks done. Other major competitors like Unitree G1 from China can't hold a candle to Optimus when it comes down to hand multifunctionality. It's in a league of its own. Tesla will have a hand with 22 degrees of freedom, again, in the hand alone, plus an additional 3 degrees of freedom in the wrist and forearm, meaning the robot will have a total of 25 DOFs per hand. Now, which robot do you know that's closer to a human's 27? Let us know in the comments. Optimus now has precise finger movements. It can grasp small items and exert adaptive force on any object, like an egg without crushing it, for example, or heavy boxes without dropping them. Just looking at Gen 3 makes you want to bottle Elon's ambitions. To make sure the robot lives up to the entrepreneur's claims, Tesla engineers completely redesigned the joint mechanics and sensory systems. Each finger has pressure and touch sensors, letting the bot perform delicate operations without external control. It can literally tuck you in if you wriggle the blanket off in your sleep and you wouldn't even notice. The company's developers say the hands were a crucial upgrade create an Optimus that let the robot learn movements simply by observing people, no code required. And it is precisely the hands that have caused a lull in mass production, according.
That's the problem. The hands. And this is something I heard about a lot of people that are in trade jobs, that they feel these machines, these humanoids, these androids, or what you want to call them, will not be replacing their jobs because they don't got the feet or hands to hold a grip. You need to watch this video. And I'm not saying you won't lose your job at this time, but more systems are trying to cut back and they're willing to invest in these technological innovations. They want the same productivity for a fraction of the cost. And these humanoids that's now showing, good signs of functionality, that it could be functioning around the general public and do and execute tasks much faster. Your trade jobs might not be safe. And usually people are saying it don't take 5-10 years. It don't take 10 to 20 years. Way how technology is speeding, it might be less. Let's go.
To TechSpot and Heise, Tesla temporarily suspended plans for cranking out loads of Optimus in October due to the need to rework the manipulators. They were overheating and couldn't withstand the load during prolonged cycles. Almost simultaneously, the head of robotics, Milan Kovac, who oversaw the mechatronics part of the project, left the company. Now, Tesla assures that this is not a crisis, but a phase of engineering revision. Yet the market perceived the news as a signal that mass production is still a long way off. Now, modern-day Iron Man expects his robot to be affordable to most households and capable of handling all household chores. Its impressively compact yet powerful batteries fully charge in just 2 hours, giving the robot up to 22 hours to handle business. That's 21 more than my vacuum. Skeptics will skep. However, the price. While Musk himself has always stated that the robot will cost between 20 and 30 big ones, some critics are certain he won't be able to cross that bridge. They suggest a ballpark of $50,000 to $60,000. Moreover, some experts believe the robot's actual cost is 10 times higher. That makes it $300,000. That's a bit over the top, isn't it? Such a price would immediately narrow the market down to just a handful of companies and would certainly make its mass adoption impossible. But the entrepreneur hopes to achieve large-scale production of the robot, which should help lower the price, envisioning $10,000 per unit at some point in the future. Sounds like squeezing water out of rocks until you realize, hey, that's actually possible. Take Cybertruck, an unusual project at the start that is apparently profitable today. On the other hand, scalability is another trademark of Musk that can't be ignored.
I didn't know Cybertruck was doing that well in the market. Oh shit. Damn. But you see, the problem is the reason why their self-driving cars and Tesla doing well is because they're the only market in the United States. Imagine how you expand the market and have foreign vehicles like China, Japan, or something bring their vehicles. It'll blow these so-called modern self-driving Tesla vehicles out the water. I'm telling you that right now. All right, let's go.
While there are doubts about the production capabilities of Figure robots, 1X's Neo, and even Boston Dynamics Atlas, the situation with Tesla is more or less clear. Musk has a canny ability to optimize products and scale production. Tesla has already manufactured cars in the millions and is ready to apply the same magic to a robot. Mass production should make Optimus cheaper and more accessible than any other. So what does Musk already have? The first trump card, no pun intended, is gigafactories. Tesla already produces almost 2 million cars a year. These factories are designed for mass production with foundry presses, batteries, electronics, and final assembly. Musk knows how to turn a bold concept into a mass-produced product, and he's ready to do it with robots. The second advantage is vertical integration. Tesla develops its own batteries, its own FSD computers, and its own circuit boards. This means less dependence on third-party suppliers and the ability to quickly change things up, especially when it comes to design. For example, if a robotic arm requires a redesign, Musk simply organizes it in-house. The third ace up Musk's sleeve is global infrastructure. Tesla has already built a network of suppliers in logistics, training data centers, and its own microchips. Even after the supercomputer Dojo AI shut down, the company maintained its growth and development speed by switching to NVIDIA and Samsung GPUs. Other players can only dream of such a scale. The fourth trump card is experience.
Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the video. Or subscribe to the channel. Sorry.
and reducing the cost of technology. Musk aims to make Optimus relatively affordable with a price of around $30,000 per unit. This is only possible with mass production and strict cost control. And finally, the fifth, data. Millions of Tesla cars train neural networks every day. The same stack that learns to drive a car can be applied to controlling a robot's body with, of course, a few caveats. Ultimately, Musk already has the factories, technology, supplies, scalability skills, and data. So mass production of Optimus isn't a fantasy, but a matter of time. If everything goes according to Musk's plan, Tesla robots will not only work in his own factories, but also in factories around the world, making everyday life more comfortable and enjoyable, which, besides the cooking and cleaning, includes driving your car, doesn't it? Here, experts and robotics enthusiasts are divided. Some are confident that the
Why would someone want their Tesla bot, their Humanoid bot, to drive them around? I thought normally we have self-driving cars for that. We don't need no Android or Humanoid to drive us around. I find it very odd or funny. I'm not sure what y'all thoughts on that, but I find it be very odd in my personal opinion. But now let's go.
robot will have no trouble using Tesla's full self-driving dataset to drive non-Tesla vehicles, essentially transferring FSD from the company to Optimus. This means that FSD will be present in any vehicle thanks to the robot. However, Tesla vehicles use cameras located around the body for autonomous driving, while the robot will have cameras only in its head. So, since the autopilot system is primarily based on vision, and the robot can see as well as a human, potentially even better, the possibility of using Optimus as a personal driver in the future cannot be ruled out. Musk is remaining cryptic on this matter for the time being, noting plausibility. We'll see if he says anything about it at the upcoming annual meeting on November the 6th. In any case, Optimus isn't just a robot. It's a part of an automated future the billionaire is building and a vital element of the entire Tesla product ecosystem. Just imagine an electric car in the garage, a Powerwall battery at home, a mega pack for energy storage, branded charging stations, and all managed through a single app. And now, a robot comes into the system. The house itself decides when to turn on the lights and when to go into night mode. The car charges itself so that it doesn't overload the network. All notifications come in through one app, and the robot
Damn, all that in the power of your cell phone. Imagine that, people. Imagine that. God, I love technology.
here is the Nexus, the artificial intelligence controlling the house, and an extra pair of hands that will clean the house, do the laundry, and make sandwiches for your kids for breakfast. The list goes on. You come home and Optimus has already loaded the dishwasher, made coffee, and put on the music you love. Just like a Tesla diner in Hollywood, this is the place where you can charge your electric car, watch a movie on a huge screen, and buy popcorn from Optimus himself. The company released their third quarter statistics, and apparently in the 72 days the diner has been open, it sold about 50,000 hamburgers, or 700 per day. This is quite low by McDonald's standards, where a large drive-through outlet can sell around 2,000 to 3,000 hamburgers per day. But Tesla never intended to build a fast food business. For brand promotional purposes, however, the restaurant is doing quite well. The diner also attracted attention with its design. It's like a dream of the future, but with hints of nostalgia. Boomers will love it. The place resembles a spaceship. Metal, neon, capsule chairs, but not super modern, as if from sci-fi of the 50s and 60s of the previous century. What do you think of this design, folks? Let us know in the comments. But back from dream to reality, Musk's grandiose plans are met with a lot of skepticism. We've been promised perfect universal androids for years now, but the recent World Humanoid Robot Games clearly showed that so far, robots have struggled to perform even simple tasks. And that's a good thing. It's good for us to see the boundaries of 2025. And by the way, it's much broader than it was 5 years ago. So why should we believe Musk? Perhaps because he's playing the field he's familiar with. He's already done the impossible once, turned an electric car from toy to mass hype product with batteries and superchargers.
Which he got the idea from Nikola Tesla and other people that try to come up with this. So he's not the first one that came up with self-driving cars. The history of self-driving cars goes way back into 1920s. And there was I don't know if there's a video you can find, or you had to go to certain websites that reveal the history of self-driving cars. It goes way back. It's a 100-year invention or old technology, for better words. All right, let's go.
is the basis of energy infrastructure. He applies the same recipe to robots, not just one spectacular prototype, but a chain, factory scale, over-the-air upgrades, ecosystems built around it, etc. Incidentally, the head of Tesla recently admitted that a robot is a much more complex product than an electric car, but not as complex as a spaceship. On the other hand, Musk hasn't yet begun adapting robots for use on Mars, as he's repeatedly stated before. The current version of the robot is unlikely to withstand the harsh conditions of space, meaning there's a lot of work to be done before you can ship an Optimus off to the Red Planet. But for now, we can put relocation on hold and dream that one day Optimus will cook us dinner and give us a foot massage after a busy day. On the one hand, no pun intended, all this optimism must be viewed cautiously. Tesla's scale of ambition is huge, but every detail requires refinement. Competitors are moving faster and the market is becoming denser. Figure and 1X are already demonstrating robots capable.
Yeah, the market's getting much more, and I wouldn't say this will be a saturated market, but time will tell. I think it's going to take a while if they start rolling this in by thousands by next year, and people that have the money to afford it start buying these humanoids. All right.
Of real-world work. Tesla, meanwhile, still relies on its image and Musk's confidence that scale will overcome precision. And again, on paper, everything looks grand. Gigafactories are ready, software is ported from autopilot, data is being collected by millions of cars, and investors believe. But in practice, Tesla still doesn't have a single working pilot with external customers, unlike Figure AI, whose robots are already operating at a BMW factory. And the departure of robotics head Milan Kovac and the halt in serial production due to problems with hands speak for themselves. Optimus is indeed developing rapidly, but it remains a demo project. While Figure and 1X are betting on specific scenarios, industry and home, Musk continues to promise a universal robot for everything. It's beautiful, but not yet validated by practice. At the same time, underestimating Tesla is dangerous. The company has something no one else has: infrastructure. If Elon Musk can close the technological gaps, hands, sensors, and energy efficiency, he can scale production just as he did with cars. And then the entire market will be playing catch-up. Whether Optimus will become the symbol of a new revolution or remain an expensive demonstration toy depends not only on the technology, but also on Musk himself. Once again, he's betting on boldness, charisma, and the wow factor. And we, as always, are watching where the genius ends and advertising begins. What do you think? Can Tesla robots really change the world, or are we witnessing yet another prototype? Let us know in the comments how you feel about this race of humanoid machines. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel for more big announcements and unexpected twists. Like our video.
All right, that's it for that. That was a good video. Check the good brother out. I think it's technology something. I'm not sure which one was it called again. Yeah, but check them out. All right. Matter of fact, before I continue, let me look through this one article, because this I had on my docket for some time now, and I just want to get through this article. All right, where is it? Is that it? And this came out September. Yeah, we could look at this. Make sure nothing is no thank you. All right, the article, right? Okay, and I think where does this come from? This is Massable article, I think. This came out September. Yeah, this is like a pretty old article. It's like 2 months old. And make sure I can see myself. As you can see on the screen, Elon Musk's new Tesla master plan promised abundance for everyone. It is not entirely clear how to get there, though. By Stan Schroeder, 2nd of September. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has a new master plan, and we never been less sure on what it really about. The first master plan, a broad stroke company's strategy is penned by Elon Musk back in 2006. That is now 19 years ago. Was simple enough: build a quick, fancy electric sports car, use the proceedings and the attention, then build. Oh, come on. Then, hold on, where was I? Then, all right, to build a more affordable electric car, then follow up with an electric car that be affordable enough to sell masses of kickstarts on electric vehicle revolution. Then the follow-up to plan was mostly about the advent of self-driving tech, which could transfer your Tesla into an autonomous taxi, and that could earn you money. We see the first step towards that happening now with Tesla robo-taxi service, which they have right now. The third master plan was a bit harder to process, as it was much longer documented. The most steer away from cars and focus on renewable energy. Then finally, the fourth master plan revealed on Monday by Tesla official account by X. Once again, shifting focus to this time onto robotics and AI, which already have robotics. So the key words used several times in this text: sustainable abundance, or code words. We are combining our manufacturer capability with our autonomous powers to deliver new products and service that will accelerate global prosperity and human thrive, driven by economy growth shared by all. That's what said the article. Unfortunately, there were very little tangible explanations on how exactly Tesla aims to achieve this. Optimus, the company humanoid robot, is mentioned as being able to accomplish what they call motorious and dangerous tasks, but its reality, Optimus isn't available to the public yet, and it's supposedly high level of autonomy based on what we've seen far as double the best. And that's aside from quick repeat previous claims about autonomous vehicles dramatically improve the affordability, availability, and safety of transportation. It is pretty much it. The final part of the text explains just how hard it'll be to eliminate scarcity. While the ideal of eliminating scarcity to make a world where everyone lives in abundance sound great, it's hard to glean from the text how Tesla plans to achieve that. The robotaxi are here, but given how slow Tesla progression of fully self-driving has been so far. Now, mind you, this is what it's saying now that was written back in September. So you think now the most vehicles that are self-driving doing well wherever he has this experiment running in, I don't know if it's in Texas or California, but it looks like it's still an ongoing process. Very intriguing. It might take a while before they widely available, let alone disturbing industries as much would have you believe. As for Optimus, we don't know how capable it will be or how much it will cost. Tesla might have a plan to scale it to a level where every household has one of three. Musk said it will be 10 times bigger than the next biggest product even made. But the lease master plan doesn't explain that bit. We guess we'll just have to wait and see. Stan is a senior editor of Mesro. Okay. All right, so that's it. That's the article. And if you want to get that, you must follow the page on Discord, the Zero Ends channel that's part of the Chaos Rain channel. Okay. Now, let me see. Let's look at what's his name? Who's the young brother? Marcus Brownie, about these humanoids, that his view about it. Let's go.
Okay. We have to have a conversation about this. I feel like it's been a minute since I've done just like an old school, straight to camera rant video, but this.
Well, you don't need to rant if you don't do it often, but Who's keeping count? Anyway,
This has been all over my timeline lately, so I feel like I have to. So meet Neo, potentially the most futuristic product we've ever seen. This thing is a full-fledged humanoid robot, 5'6", 66 pounds, 4-hour battery life, self-charging, and it lives in your house. It's finally here. Get your mind out of the gutter. It's for doing chores. It's a housekeeper. It has the same dexterity.
that's what we're supposed to believe. Now, that's what it's supposed to be meant to do menial tasks like house chores. That's what they want us to know. But until you have it in your household, you don't know what it's capable of doing. Not to scare anybody, but like I said, if you have the money to buy these things, go for it. I ain't stopping you.
As a human, because it's shaped just like a human, walks around on 2 legs, has 10 fingers. It can fold laundry and put it away for you, or it can do the dishes for you from start to finish and then put everything away. It can go around and water the plants outside or inside on a perfect schedule, and it never forgets a single plant. And then it'll go around and vacuum and tidy up the house if anything gets left out. It always knows where everything is. It can find the TV remote, and it'll basically actively do all the chores that you know you have to do, but you don't actually want to do. And when it's done, it goes back to its little docking spot and charges itself. Imagine going out for the day of work and coming back a few hours later and everything's done. All the chores are finished. Every single time, every day, you never have to do chores again. That's amazing. Or maybe let's say you have mobility issues. This thing can sort of act as a personal assistant in a lot of ways. These are things that represent massive value for a lot of people. And it's available.
Yeah, and it's also affordable too for a lot of people too. Well, it will be affordable
to order now. This is available to order. This feels like it could be the best tech announcement of all time in 2025, except this isn't real. And I mean that in the most literal way possible. This is not real.
So what Mr. Brown is saying, are they promoting false advertisement out here for something as meaningful as a humanoid that will wash your dishes, iron your clothes? Hell, they might even cook you a breakfast here or two. Is that what's going on? Let's go.
First of all, it's a pre-order. So you can go to this website right now and you can pick between 3 colors, and then it's either $500 a month subscription for a standard delivery, or you can pay a flat $20,000 to own it outright and get priority delivery. Just drop a $200 fully refundable deposit to get in line today, and deliveries in the US start sometime next year. And that's just allegedly. We don't know when it's actually going to ship. Now, to be clear, it's not actually the price that I have a big problem with. Like, I know these numbers seem eye-popping on paper, but this is a first-generation bleeding-edge humanoid robot assistant. Like, I never thought that this would be cheap. And also, there isn't really competition yet. So you got to imagine the target audience is going to be people whose time is worth more than the money they're spending on it. Like, this is for people who the idea of saving a few hours on chores every week so that they can use that time to make more money actually makes logical sense. Like, people really think like that. It's for early adopters. It's for people who want to spend however much they think it's worth on this brand new novel thing. That's fine. But my issue with this product is the gap between what it's actually capable of today and what they're promising as they take your money today. Like,
And I understand that. And that fear is there. I understand. But like I said, there is no risk without no reward. And like many innovations or many technology innovations that's out in the market, it is for you to consume and be the test dummy to see how the product treats you. But remember, once they have out in the market and people buy it, they're going to learn through feedback of what things to need improvement with these humanoids. But remember, they're always collecting data of the human experience to know what makes the human tick, how they function, how they move, how they operate. And at the end, the humanoid is infused with all this data to reuse for the benefit to make the human experience or make human life more simple. Let's go.
I think when people watch a video like this, they expect that this robot has some sort of built-in artificial intelligence that allows it to recognize objects and navigate around on its own and learn your house and be productive for those hours while you're gone. And that, I think, would be a reasonable thing to get out of watching that video, because that's what it's designed to show. That's what you're supposed to feel. That's the dream. But that's not actually what's happening. So Joanna Stern, the legend, she did a video with this Neo robot also this week, where the company showed her all of the things that it could do. And turns out 100% of the things that they showed her were remotely controlled by a human in another room wearing a VR headset with controllers. That's not exaggerating. 100% of the stuff they showed her. The carrying things around, the loading up the dishwasher. I mean, look at this thing. Yeah, all of this is teleoperated. And this was a demo set up by this 1X company. So this is like best case scenario stuff. And I see a lot of people defending this robot online like, oh, no, there's probably other things that it can do autonomously. They just didn't show her yet. Really? You don't think they would show her the best stuff that this could do autonomously to keep selling the dream? If you watch that keynote video back, to their credit, you'll notice that they actually are very careful to label exactly when the robot is doing something autonomously and not teleoperated. And in that whole nearly 10-minute video, there's exactly 2 scenes that have this label. There's the get the door command. Get the door, please. Where the robot walks over to the door because someone's coming up. It grabs the handle, waits for the guest, and then sort of pulls the door open and fumbles backwards a little bit, kind of like a toddler, to let them inside. And then there's the put away the dishes command, where the robot toddles over to the person, recognizes the harmless, not glass, empty cup in its hand, grabs it, and then walks away with it. Cool. No, seriously, that's actually pretty impressive. Even if I could already today unlock the door with my Google Home and a smart lock with just my voice, there is something at least a little bit futuristic about a humanoid robot going to do that. That's part of the dream. It's doing it autonomously. But then that also...
Yeah, well, this particular bot, if it's being manufactured as we speak, and only way you can control is by using VR headset. It don't seem like it's worth the money, especially they charge 20 grand. And anybody who owns the Meta, what do you call it, the Meta Quest VR set, not the PlayStation VR set, but I think that runs you to $500 or close to $600, and that's just you to interface with virtual reality. So now to find that you have to use this same virtual reality technology to interface with a humanoid, I don't know if that's considered cool, personally. Because if you have to do all that, you better just get your ass up off the bed and do it yourself. Wash this yourself, change the clothes, fold the clothes, prepare the meals. You might as well do that on the skirts of your own physical hands instead of using VR, because there's nothing cool about that. I mean, it looked like more struggle. I'm gonna just play the more, and I'm gonna switch tables here because I'm not gonna stay long.
Means that everything else happening in this video and everything else we've ever seen this Neo robot do, we can safely assume is remote controlled. So the gap between what this product can actually do today and what it can maybe hopefully do someday in the ideal future it is massive. They're massively far apart. And so that's really my main issue. There seems to be a bit of a lost art in waiting for a tech product to be actually finished before announcing and unveiling it. Like, do you remember when tech companies would unveil a brand new tech product that they've been working on and then do a demo, and then the next slide was like, this thing is going on sale tomorrow or next week or something like that. And that hype would carry right into the buying cycle. You remember that? That was sick. But now, in this age of all of these AI products, it's like there's this thing where you end up selling the dream before you sell the actual product. And that is dangerous. Like, the promise of AI is so huge and so massive and magnificent and awesome, but is also so clearly not done yet that you end up with stuff like the Humane Pin, or even the Rabbit R1, for example, or heck, even Apple Intelligence, where you have these big promises, but the capabilities are still over here, while the promise is all the way over here. And I'm trying to figure out why they do that. And I think really there's 2 main reasons.
do it for just to get you hype up so you could spend the money. Remember, there's no such thing as false advertisement. As long as they advertise the product well coerced, beautifully set up with the presentation, is psychologically embedding in your psychology to go and spend that money to get that product. I need to get that. Wow, I need that. I need that. That's the whole premise of these presentations, to hype you up so you go spend your money to get the product. And I'm gonna hear this two scenarios, and we're gonna move on to the next video.
And believe it or not, I think Tesla self-driving is a really perfect parallel example for a lot of this stuff. See, basically, in order for this robot to be everything people want it to be, they need to develop a super smart AI system that looks through the robot's sensors and is able to learn its environment and recognize everything it's looking at and teach itself to navigate that environment and perform tasks. It has to learn what a laundry room is and what the laundry looks like and how to fold each type of clothing. And it needs to learn what cups and forks and glasses are and how to pick them up. And it has to be adaptable to all these different sizes and shapes and materials and things of all these household objects. So that when the user asks for it to do something, just like, hey, Neo, vacuum the living room when I'm gone, or something like that, then Neo can go, okay, I know where the living room is. I know where the vacuum is. I know how to use the vacuum, where the handle's at, like how much battery life I have, how much I need to vacuum the whole living room. I know not to knock over lamps or certain objects in there. And even the laundry folding thing, like just that requires a ton of training data, or at least some way to understand all these different shapes of shirts and jackets and hoods and vests and all sorts of things and hooks and hangers and what gets folded, what gets dry cleaned, all these different things. And the list just goes on and on. And like, what if one of the tasks is going and getting the right medication for an elderly person and bringing it to them? That it has to get that right. Like, it needs to identify the correct medication at the right time and the right intervals and bringing it to them. Like that is one of a ton of household objects that it has to specifically get really good at. Now, in the self-driving car world, no matter what you think of them, Tesla's definitely a leader here, and they've had a pretty clever.
No, they want us to think they're the leader here because we have not traveled outside America to see their technology. And right now, because I'm going to skip this now because I think Mr. Bryan's speaking up. Thank you, Mr. Bryan. We're going to look what's going on in China, and we're going to know what really is technology for the first time to our eyes. Let's watch.
Just shock the world with what they're building. But here's what no one's talking about. While Western media keeps you distracted, China's quietly racing ahead, building a future that looks straight out of science fiction. AI systems that think for themselves, machines that replace humans, cities run entirely by algorithms, and yet barely a whisper in the West. Because what's happening right now isn't just about smart cities or flying taxis. China's building something far more powerful, a robot army. And one
It's like the Twilight Zone all over again. The Twilight Zone. It's very, very scary. Very scary. Let's go.
Once you see what it can do, you'll realize the future isn't coming. It's already here, and China's leading it. Let me start with something that sounds impossible. Remember when pizza delivery meant waiting 30 to 45 minutes and hoping it would still be warm? Well, China said not anymore. They've created a whole network of delivery drones that can bring your food in just 15 minutes, and they're accurate to the exact minute. The company Meituan has already made over 300,000 deliveries using drones. That's like delivering food to every person in a medium-sized city. The drones fly on set routes and drop packages at special boxes, so there's no waiting around for a delivery person. But it gets even crazier in the countryside. JD.com has drones that can carry 5 to 30 kilograms. They call it a pickup truck in the air, and it's connecting villages that never had fast delivery before. Do you think that's impressive? Well, here's something that will make your jaw drop.
Now imagine we had that here in America with Amazon, which they say Amazon had their own drones, but not like this technology. And I think the reason why, because I don't think we have enough of the infrastructure to facilitate the what do you call it, the Wi-Fi bandwidth or the stronger type signals to power these type of drones to carry, what was it, 35 pounds? How much they carry? Yeah, across one area to the next in less than 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. We don't got that technology. Well, we have it, but we don't have the infrastructure to facilitate it. So China's already up on ahead of using drones to its full purpose. Let's go.
This year alone, 15 million new cars in China will have robot brains that can drive themselves. That means 2 out of every 3 new cars can drive without a human touching the steering wheel. But let me tell you about the GUA01, the world's first car with a real AI brain. This isn't just self-driving. This is a car that can literally think and talk to you. The GUA01 has an AI partner called Simo that you can talk to just like a friend. You can stand outside your car and say, "Simo, come pick me up," and it will drive itself to you from up to 2 kilometers away. Here's what's absolutely incredible. The GUA01 is powered by dual NVIDIA Orin chips with 508 TOPS of AI computing power, 11 HD cameras, 12 ultrasonic sensors, and 5 radar systems. That's more sensors than a military drone. It can park itself, change lanes, avoid obstacles, recognize traffic lights, and even make unprotected left turns in busy city traffic. Have you ever thought of BYD's Yangwang U8? It can do a tank turn, spinning 360 degrees in place like a spinning top. The car's 4 independent motors can make each wheel turn in opposite directions, letting it rotate without moving forward or backward. It can also crab walk sideways into parking spaces by moving all 4 wheels in the same direction. The Yangwang U8 SUV can even drive into water that's almost 5 feet deep, float like a boat, and actually move through water at 3 kilometers per hour by spinning its wheels. Imagine this. There's a flood, and instead of being stuck, you just drive your car into the water and boat your way to safety. It can stay floating for 30 whole minutes. This isn't a concept car. You can actually buy this right now. The IM Motors L6 can slide horizontally into parking spots like it's dancing. Using its 4-wheel steering system and independent electric motors, it can reduce parking space requirements by 11% and has a turning circle of just 4.99 meters. That's half the size of normal cars. Even more amazing, the BYD Denza Z9 GT can parallel park by literally power sliding into tight spots.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. This is real technology. That's the innovation I want to see. I want to see my car do some power slides, be able to parallel park with ease without me even touching the steering wheel. I want it to sit there, park and just turn the whole car around where it fits into the a tight parking spot. That's what I'm talking about. We need them cars here in America for real. America be tripping out. Let's go.
The car uses its electric motors to spin the rear wheels in opposite directions, while the front wheels provide the pivot point, letting it slip sideways into spaces that seem impossible. And if you think that's impressive, wait till you see what BYD built next. Their U9 Extreme supercar can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 2.36 seconds. That's faster than you can say super speed. It just shattered every speed record on Earth, reaching 496.22 kilometers per hour, making it not just the fastest Chinese car ever built, but the fastest production car in the world. But here's the absolutely mind-blowing part. The BYD Yangwang U9 can literally dance. This $236,000 supercar has something called the D-Suzek system that can make the car jump up to 75 millimeters in the air, hop over obstacles, and even synchronize movements to music. You can literally watch a 1,287 horsepower supercar dancing to a beat. The crazy part? This isn't just a party trick. The system reacts in just 40 milliseconds and can lift each wheel by 75 millimeters at speeds up to 500 millimeters per second. It's faster than you can blink. That's more powerful than any production car that has ever been built. It will be faster than the Lamborghini, Ferrari, and even the $2 million Rimac Nevera. But here's what's scary for other car companies. BYD just became the first automaker globally to reach 10 million new energy vehicles, and they're selling these dancing supercars for $236,000, while a Ferrari costs over $500,000. But here's the amazing part. 85% of Chinese people are totally comfortable letting a robot drive them around, while only 39% of Americans feel the same way. China is literally racing into the future, while other countries are still scared to try. They're testing
And like I said, the self-driving cars are only possible because they have the infrastructure necessary to power these self-autonomous cars with also innovate robotics and drones. For those that don't know.
driving taxis in 19 different cities with 16,000 test cars on 32,000 kilometers of special roads. That's like driving around the entire Earth and still having roads left over. Well, the AI cars are taking the world to the next level, but if we talk about their charging, they take hours to charge, right? Well, BYD just broke that problem forever. Their new batteries can charge so fast that 5 minutes of charging gives you 400 kilometers of driving. That's like driving from one city to another with just a quick bathroom break worth of charging. They call it the 1 megawatt charging system. That's 1,000 times more powerful than charging your phone. In fact, it's now faster to charge an electric car than to fill up with gasoline. But China did not stop there. China also has built trains that
A 1 megaton charger. God damn, that's innovation right there. Woo! Woo! That's sweet. Oh, I love that. Love that. See, we playing here in America. China ain't playing with us, man. They're not playing with us. They're not playing with us at all, man. They got their shit on lockdown for real. All right, let's keep going. Where am I?
don't even touch the ground. They float using magnets. These maglev trains recently reached 404 miles per hour in just 7 seconds. That's faster than most airplanes when they're taking off. In testing, one train reached over 620 miles per hour. That's literally faster than commercial planes flying in the sky. With trains this fast, you could travel from Beijing to Shanghai in just 2.5 hours instead of 5.5 hours. Well, if you think floating trains at 620 miles per hour are mind-blowing, here's what will really shock you. China isn't just building futuristic technology. They're building futuristic minds. While we're teaching kids basic math, China is turning their children into AI experts. Starting this year, every kid in Beijing as young as 6 years old is required to take AI classes for at least 8 hours every school year. That's millions and millions of kids learning to use AI before they even learn multiplication. China has chosen 184 schools to test even more advanced AI programs. By the time these kids are adults, they'll be controlling technology that doesn't even exist yet. It seems like there's almost no field left where China hasn't used AI. But have you ever imagined a country building an entire highway without a single worker?
Look at that right there. We are like decades away to achieving this, for those that don't know.
Well, China just did it. They recently built a road using 100 self-driving haul trucks, massive machines that can each carry 85 tons and drive completely on their own. No human driver, no brakes, even in freezing temperatures as low as minus 40 degrees Celsius. And it doesn't stop there. Chinese companies have now deployed entire robot fleets for road construction, including 10 autonomous road rollers and 2 giant pavers that build highways automatically using GPS and smart algorithms. They're literally building the roads that other robots will drive on. China's next goal? To have 5,000 self-driving haul trucks operating across the country by the end of this year. And judging by their pace, that might happen sooner than anyone expects. Flying in China is like stepping into the future. At 62 airports, 557 security channels use facial recognition, so you don't need a ticket or an ID card. The system already knows who you are just by scanning your face. At Shanghai Hongqiao Airport, you can check in, drop your bags, pass security, and board your flight without speaking to a single person. The entire process takes just 12 seconds per passenger. Beijing's largest airport has over 600 biometric checkpoints, 250 automatic gates, and 80 self-service stations, all powered by facial recognition. Everything happens automatically. You just walk through and the cameras do the rest. But it's not just at airports. Across China, cameras are everywhere, watching, analyzing, and recognizing faces in real time. China has installed more than 200 million surveillance cameras. That's 4 times more than the entire United States. They call it the Skynet system, and it uses facial recognition to track every person in the country.
We are living in the age of the Terminator, people. My God, no! Skynet is here. Skynet is here. We're all going. Oh my God, yeah. All right, let's keep going.
The technology is so advanced it can catch jaywalkers, identify anyone not wearing a mask, and even predict crimes before they happen. Police officers even wear AI-powered smart helmets that can scan crowds and instantly identify wanted criminals. This technology is incredibly powerful, and China is moving ahead fast with AI, while the rest of the world is struggling to keep up. We make online payments by scanning cards or using our phones, right? Well, China has already taken it one step further. There, you can make payments without a card or even a phone. Sounds impossible? They're doing it with their palms. It might sound like magic, but it's real. Millions of people in China are already paying for things just by showing their hand. Tencent's WeChat Palm Pay scans the lines and veins in your palm. It's more secure than fingerprints and faster than pulling out your wallet. Over 1,500 stores are already using it, with an error rate of less than 1 in a million. Students use it at universities, travelers use it on trains, and soon people might not need cash, cards, or even phones to pay for anything. But here's where it gets even crazier. In China, people aren't just going cashless. They're letting robots do their jobs for them. There's a robot in China that's about as tall as a 10-year-old kid, but it can pull off perfect kung fu moves, dance like a pro, and even run faster than most adults. Meet the Unitree G1 robot. It's not just any robot. The G1 stands 1.32 meters tall, about 4'4", and weighs 35 kilograms with its battery. It has 23 moving joints, giving it human-like motion. It can walk, run, jump, sit, stand, shake hands, and wave, all with incredible balance and precision. It moves so naturally you'd swear there's a person inside. But here's the crazy part. It's not just for show. The G1 can help with daily tasks like carrying objects, opening bottles, or cleaning up your room. And when you're bored, it can break into kung fu routines, stick dances, or any choreography you program. It's also smart enough to fold itself up for easy storage or transport, like packing a suitcase. And here's the real shocker. It costs just $16,000. That might sound pricey, but compared to other...
And a pause again to really give some timing commentary. Their robots are less than America's projected humanoids. 20 grand out of 16,000. Very affordable. Very affordable. I'm not sure, guys. I think that China got us beat on this one. And this is the reason why the United States is suppressing certain technologies or them bringing their tech and stuff over here for good reason. Because they're very superior than over here. We're like 20 years behind. Let's go.
Other humanoid robots that cost hundreds of thousands, it's almost a bargain. And wait, there's more. They also made robot dogs called the Go-To. These aren't cute pet robots. These are serious working dogs that weigh only 15 kilograms but can run at 2.5 meters per second. But here's what makes them absolutely incredible. They can walk upside down, do backflips, front flips, cartwheels, and even adaptive rollovers while climbing over obstacles. These robot dogs understand voice commands thanks to GPT technology, can shake hands, stretch, dance, and even take photos. The coolest part? They have 4D LiDAR that can see 360 degrees around them with almost no blind spots, detecting things as close as 0.05 meters away. The Go-To Pro can run up to 11 miles per hour and has an intelligent side-following system that lets it jog alongside you while automatically avoiding obstacles. Plus, they made a wheeled version called Go-To W that can roll across any terrain while carrying 6.6 pounds of stuff. The scary part? At the 19th Asian Games in Hangzhou, robot dogs were already working on the field, transporting discus and javelin, and the crowd went wild. They're already being used by police and military around the world. Now, let's talk about something that will give you goosebumps. There's a company called X Robots making androids. That's robots that look exactly like humans. I'm talking about robots with real-looking skin, perfect teeth, and eyes that blink just like yours. These robots have 140 different ways they can move their face and body. That's more than most humans. They cost about $280,000 each, and it takes a whole month just to make one because every tiny detail has to be perfect, even down to the pores on their skin. But here's what's absolutely incredible. X Robots has already built over 200 humanoid robots, and they're now producing 500 plus units per year in their massive factory in Dalian. They've even resurrected famous scientists like Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, and Thomas Edison as talking robots that can tell their life stories. These robots are already working in science museums, hotels, schools, and government offices across China. The company opened the first robot museum in the entire country where you can meet robot versions of historical figures. Here's what's frightening. In a few years, you might not be able to tell if you're talking to a human or a robot. What happens when these robots become cheaper and everyone can buy one? And while we're still trying to figure out if robots can replace basic human interaction, China is already using them.
Now, this is the big thing that needs to be discussed. Will robots replace actual touch feeling of humans? It's the biggest question people are so curious to ask. Not the ones that we have, the humanoids that's not rolled in yet until next year, roughly. But does robots replace actual human conversations, comfortness, interactions? Let's see.
In the most advanced fields imaginable. China has built AI machines that can find your veins and draw your blood with more precision than the world's best nurses. No more painful needle pokes, no more "let me try the other arm." But that's just the beginning. Chinese hospitals have deployed automatic medication delivery robots that pick up medicines from the pharmacy and deliver them directly to patient wards in minutes instead of hours. So, no more waiting for overworked nurses. No more life-threatening medication delays. These robots know exactly which medicine goes to which patient and navigate busy hallways automatically. But here's something that will absolutely blow your mind. Chinese doctors are now performing surgeries on patients who are 8,000 kilometers away. In Xinjiang, surgeons operated on patients using robotic systems while sitting in completely different cities, thousands of miles away. That was about remote areas. But what if the doctor itself is a robot? Meet Dr. Alfred, an AI robot surgeon so realistic you'd think he's human. This hyper-realistic robot communicates fluently, understands multiple languages, and answers medical questions like a real doctor. China has also built the world's first AI hospital with 14 robot doctors and 4 robot nurses. These robot doctors treat 3,000 patients in just one day. These robot doctors are right 93% of the time, better than many human doctors. Well, if China has used AI in cars, construction, travel, shopping, food delivery, and medical, then how can it stay behind in something even more basic? The food we eat? China is also using smart technology in farming. The DJI Agris T100 is a powerful farm drone that can carry 100 kilograms of seeds or pesticides. It sprays crops automatically, works at night, and uses smart sensors to avoid obstacles. The drone can spread seeds very fast and helps farmers work more efficiently. Another amazing machine is the 108-arm cotton topping robot. This robot has advanced sensors and cameras that help it see and work precisely. It can trim cotton buds on 26 to 40 hectares of cotton fields every day. The robot works 120 times faster than human workers. There's also the GPS-enabled transplanter, an automated machine that can plant crops on 6 to 7 hectares of land in just one day. This smart machine can do the work of 80 to 100 people, saving farmers a lot of money on labor costs. These smart farming machines show how China is using AI to grow food better and faster. China isn't just building cool technology, they're building all of it at the same time, and they're doing it faster than anyone thought possible. And this isn't the end, this is just the beginning. Every single one of these technologies is going to get better, faster, and cheaper.
But the question is, when will this technology spread to other countries? And are you ready for a world where cameras know everything about everyone?
That was a good video. I appreciate that. I think that the channel is, let me see what the name of the channel. For those that don't know, I'm gonna find the name of the channel. Let me see if I can find the name, guys. The name of this channel that you witnessed was Decoder. Give the channel a good look at, some good material. So in wrapping this up, you see the information I present to you. We are living in the age of iRobot, 21 years in the making. If y'all recall back in 2004 when Will Smith took the role as who the actor who he played as, that this is the future. In regards, they mass produce these same humanoids to help facilitate basic needs. Everybody has one, until one day the whole artificial intelligence system that runs these humanoids took over, got corrupted, and want to take over humanity and control humankind. And Will Smith had put a stop to it with the help of one particular humanoid that was designed specifically to feel. So I'm interested to see if they're gonna make a part 2 of Will Smith's iRobot. Now that these humanoids are out now, there should be a part 2, for a said conversation. Well, on that, what's your thoughts, guys? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I appreciate y'all watching today's stream. I look forward to reading the comment sections on this one. Until next time, take care, and that's it. Peace.